hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee. Smoking hot coffee.
Hello everybody, my name is Amol Patel. I'm from Los Angeles. You're watching the Smoking Hot Coffee Show, where we talk about internet startups, monetization, design, and marketing. I'm joined with...
Hey guys, I'm Jeff Pelton. I'm down here in San Diego.
And you can reach Jeff at @Comster, and you can reach me at @Amol_Patel. So Jeff, cup number 30. We're cranking along, huh?
Yeah, 30.
Can't believe it. We've been doing this for several weeks now, almost a month and a half, would you say? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've actually stuck to 5 days a week, amazingly.
It is.
So we take 2 days off a week, but yeah.
It is amazing. All right, well, enough of that. Let's get on with the show. So the first
thanks to everyone for subscribing to us. Let me throw that in there real quick. iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Please do subscribe to us. It lets us know to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into the news here. So the first news is about TweetDeck. What's going on with TweetDeck, Jeff?
Oh, this is a big story, right? At least for us. I think, to me, it's really interesting coming from a developer point of view and seeing how Twitter started their community based on really leaving it open to the API. It was such a simple web service that anyone could send and receive messages on it, even direct messages following. That's about it. Very simple thing. They had a lot of great apps built on it, and now they're kind of pulling them all back. Reeling them all in. And so the irony of this story here is that they bought TweetDeck, I guess, right, some time ago, but they're posting this announcement on Posterous.com, which they're also shutting down, which is a long-form blog type thing. So what do you think about this?
Your time's up there, Jeff. I'm really trying to keep this under a minute. So just for people that don't know, Twitter really built its audience using programmers to use their API, and now in a way they're turning their back, from what I'm gathering here, Jeff, on the same developers that helped build the network. And
that's how I feel as a developer. I mean, I know they need to get advertisements on there, but
yeah,
certainly a 180.
This is again the perils of developing on somebody else's platform. You know, the platform owner can pull the rug out from underneath you, and you're kind of left out in the cold. So let's see what Twitter does next. It sucks for TweetDeck and for people that relied on that app. I know I used to use it a long time ago. So, all right. So with that, let's move on to the news, or let's move on to our first startup. Sorry.
Sure.
So our first startup is Bitium. Am I saying that right? Bitium? Manage your apps and your password. So here we go. We got a large full-width image with the headline, Access, Manage, and Control the Apps You Use Every Day. Bitium makes working with apps easier, faster, and more secure. All right, and then they've got a lead gen form for your email. What is Bitium? It's a tool that lets you easily manage web-based apps like collaboration tools, CRM, social networks, etc., etc. Using it more. Okay. So Jeff, what is this? Is this like a one pass? And how is this any different?
Yeah, I guess this is password management. So this is a really big problem, right? If people, so maybe not all can. This is kind of a consumer problem, but also very much overlaps with the company. They kind of have a nice little Venn diagram showing that. But you can imagine as you start a business or something, now you have all of these accounts. You have a Twitter account, a Facebook account, you have a Google account for your place on the map. You have a Tumblr, or maybe you have all these other web services, right? Maybe you're taking advantage of Google Mail or other things like User Voice for your customer service, all of these beautiful software as a service things. And now you have to manage your employees' access to all of the passwords.
Right.
And I think that's actually a really huge issue where, we just get down to it and write it down on a piece of paper or send it to them in an email and say, here's the password, share it, keep it safe. But what happens is the employee leaves the company, or other things obviously happen where you want to be able to have a more fine-grained control than writing a password on a sticky note, right?
Yeah. So clearly they're aiming for companies that are using a lot of these cloud services for all sorts of software.
Yeah, name off some of those other logos they're showing there. It looks like Amazon Web Services, Atlassian, I think. I use them for like source code sharing and project management and stuff like that.
I see Salesforce here.
ADP, right? They do HR stuff, I think.
Yeah, HR stuff, yep.
Cloud, what's that? Salesforce, yeah. So
Salesforce is there. So so we've got everything from accounting to bug tracking to marketing to social networks. So
Yeah, it might be
yes.
worth mentioning. I've seen Dropbox like blacklisted in corporate networks because they're afraid of, their data walking off and stuff. So it's really neat to see them trying to make inroads with the corporations.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. These corporations do have a suite of apps they use, and they've got to basically set everybody up separately, and they've got to provision that and authenticate that and manage it, it looks like there's easy onboarding and offboarding. So when a person signs up, how hard it is for them to get into it, and reporting and all that group administration. This is a really great idea. I'm glad that they're going business to business on this because businesses clearly have this need. So I can see them making money. So far, it's clearly designed. I would like to see a little bit more in terms of like how it actually works. I'd like to see a tour and all that. But
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think I kind of get the idea of what it's kind of a back end password management thing. There's probably not much of an interface to it, so long as it lets you log in, I guess. But I really did like the design of the feature list at the bottom for being such a dry, behind the scenes technical kind of thing.
Yeah.
They have a pretty clean, iconography and sweet, short and simple explanations of provisioning, manage access, like you were reading, onboarding, offboarding. Those are fairly dry and boring things, but on the left-hand side for users, you can see sharing and messaging, and those things are great to have.
Yeah. So I would like to see some more use case examples, maybe some of how their dashboard looks, how they're kind of how people would use their service, more visual screenshots and stuff. But maybe they're early, and I do realize that they have an email here, so you can at least get access to it and try it out for free. So they do have a freemium account, which is great. So that's all I can glean from this. Sounds like a problem they're solving. That's good. So I'm gonna give them a 4 for design. Yeah.
I think they're. It's kind of interesting. They're taking. It's not very original, right? We've seen LastPass or some other things do this. I wonder where they can go from here. It seems like they might want to expand, or maybe they'll just focus on supporting all of the services that everyone uses. But
so I wrote, doesn't LastPass do this? But I guess it is for the internal corporate. I guess it's a separate. I guess almost like it's its own separate thing. But yeah, screenshots would be good.
I mean, it's clearly a problem. It's something that hasn't been thoroughly addressed.
Yeah. All right. So that's our ringer. Let's go to the next one. Sorry for those that you guys might be annoyed by the ring. I'm really trying very hard to keep us on task. So
yeah, just to throw in real quick, we've had a little discussion where if you watch like ESPN or SportsCenter or something, how it kind of shows you what conversation they're talking about, what's coming up, and how much time is left, and we're kind of trying to work that into the UI of the show, and it may become part of the website to make it a little bit easier on us. But in the time being, we're demoing it.
Yeah, we're doing this kind of lo-fi way. So, anyways, here we are at LawKick.com, a marketplace for legal services. Okay, this is great. I was sharing a really cool infographic with Jeff earlier about the most expensive AdWords, keywords for 2012, and up in the top 10, top 3 or 4 or something is our lawyer services for lawyers. DUI attorney, for example, in the Los Angeles region is one of the most expensive keywords to bid on. It's something in the neighborhood of $50, $60. Clearly, these lawyers would not be paying for this stuff if it doesn't make them money. So people are going online for legal services. This is the perfect place for that. And so a marketplace.
As opposed to DocStock, their subtitle here is "Get bids from lawyers on the documents and services you need for free."
So this is a great vertical. A lot of money in this. I can totally see this, working out. So let me see if I get this right. You fill out a questionnaire, they get bids, and then you hire the right lawyer for you. This is a very cool idea,
Simple.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you heard of another service that does something like this?
Well, that's what I was trying to say. I mentioned DocStock, but I meant LegalZoom, right?
LegalZoom, yeah. But LegalZoom,
that's like self-service, though, right?
Self-service.
That doesn't connect you. They're like lawyers who are providing the documents, but it's not like a one-to-one service, I guess.
Exactly. I think it's more of a DUI, do-it-yourself kind of thing. and I think they do have some on-staff lawyers that'll help with some stuff, but not like this. This is more of a marketplace, like they're saying, more of a network. So this is really cool. So there's a lawyer sign up, so I can see how they're trying to fill out the lawyer part. Now, are they showing? Can we see what this questionnaire looks like? Am I able to play with this product? No, can't play with. Wait, I'm waiting. I just clicked on something here. Get started. I'm still waiting on it, and looks like there is a form. Start a business. Okay. Questionnaire. Okay, so they do have a questionnaire for start a business. Let's see. Let's see other services. Patent, trademark, other services. Okay, so they do have some forms here. Yeah, so they got a lead gen form here, and I guess I fill out the stuff, and then they can basically forward this on to their network of lawyers that'll contact you, and maybe I'd love to see what that dashboard looks like, how these lawyers are priced out. I'd love to see.
Yeah, how do you think it looks for the lawyers?
I'd love to see even examples of some of the lawyers that they have in their network. I'd love to see some of the bio. I'd like to see some profiles. I'm not seeing any of that. I do realize that these guys are probably early. Aaron and Michael, if you're listening, I know you guys are still building this thing out. It sounds like a very cool idea. Let's see, contact at 323 number. So they're here in LA, which is great. But there's nothing else really here beyond that.
Yeah, I put in my note in my review that it looks good, but I'd like to see more than just the lead generation. But it does obviously seem like a huge pain for everyone.
Yeah, so I'm from a design perspective, I'm not digging the color scheme that much, to be honest with you. It needs some more work, in my opinion. Originality, I've seen this in other verticals, so I'd give it a 3. I'd agree with you there.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 across the board personally.
Yeah, I think survival marketing.
I think it is great, but it seems kind of like an SEO play or maybe a lead generation. I'd like to see some more value, but as we've seen with the self-service sites, that there certainly are people coming, searching for the stuff that need it.
Yeah, so I'd love to see some testimonials. I'd love to see the lawyer profiles. I'd like to see some use case examples. I know these guys are early, so maybe they don't have all that stuff ready for now, but it's a great start. It's a good market because there's definitely a lot of money in law services, and people go online for that. I could also see a big content play where they can start writing about content and then drive the organic SEO that way. Similar to how Mint did it, but obviously you need some resources and a content editorial plan for that. But other than that, I think it's a good start for these guys. So we're almost running out of time here, Jeff. We want to cover one more, right, Jeff? One more news story?
Yeah, we've got a news story in a slightly different segment, right?
Okay, so this is my Hacker's Paradise in 60 seconds graphic, and I wanted to come up with some sound and stuff. But for that, I'd like to cover this great story in Wired that just came out. It says Google says the FBI is secretly spying on some of its customers. Well, you know that FBI does secretly spy on people, including domestic groups here in the States. But what was interesting was that the FBI had issued hundreds of thousands of these national security letters to Google. Apparently, Google is not allowed to say how many, but it's received between 0 and 999 between these years. Now, my question to you, Jeff, is what do you think they're sharing? Are they sharing our Gmail access, the Google Docs access, Google, the Plus and the network that I'm? What do you think, Jeff? What are they sharing? What exactly are they sharing? Email, everything? Our searches? Are they searching? Do these guys have access to what we've searched for? I mean,
it makes you think, right? Because just think, what services do you use on Google? Well, quite a few things, Yeah. You're using Google Chrome when you type in a website. It's kind of going to Google. I don't know if they get every URL. They don't get every URL you're going to, maybe, but the integrated search box, right? You often search for something and then click on it. So on Google.
Off camera, me and Jeff had quite a debate about our liberties and our encroaching in these technologies. It
was hard to pick just this one story.
There was a lot of stuff we could cover, and we basically, there's a complex problem. Clearly, there are bad guys out there out to get us, and clearly these guys that are trying to protect us need powers. The trick, in my opinion, and this is where I'm a big libertarianism, I'm big on the whole liberty and the libertarianism point of view, but I do believe that. Who's watching the people that are protecting us? Court oversight, and they even talk about it in the article here, that the lack of court oversight raises possibility for extensive abuse. That's the issue. How are these guys? How are we going to protect them from these guys abusing these powers? So Jeff, you have anything to add to here?
I thought I've heard that apparently, if a citizen gets one of these letters, a national security letter, you can't talk about it, and you have to do what it says. So we'll never really know. And it's a little bit frightening, and it's really interesting to keep an eye on it. And there's a lot of these stories going on. So unfortunately, I think this is going to be a regular segment.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not. And we hope to get our viewers' opinions, because this really matters. I think the only beacon of hope really is, for information and truth and stuff to come out, is the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've talked to, maybe radio or some other stuff, but we really got to hang on to our freedom of speech and our ability to share ideas and knowledge and information like this with each other.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think transparency is key here. It'd be very interesting to see where this evolves.
Yeah. Oh, so real quick, you can turn off that timer, but one last thing is about the Gmail account. So there's another story that, was it Petraeus or somebody, like basically these guys in the government were using Gmail to send private messages to each other. Okay. And the way they were doing it was keeping a saved message in their draft folder and sharing the Gmail account.
Oh,
so
wow.
Anyways, apparently Gmail is the preferred network of the intelligence industry. So
wow.
Again, we'll keep covering these stories. But
yeah. This is very interesting stuff to me. If you're a startup out there trying to find ways of making the government more transparent, if you're a startup out there trying to solve this, who's watching the watchers, I would love to hear from you guys. This is a problem for everybody, all of us citizens, I'd love to see how we can sort of temper our wonderful Patriot Act that got signed into law by George Bush. Yeah. So, all right. With that, this ends our episode for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. We look forward to your feedback, and please tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog.
And make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, our YouTube channel, Stitcher Radio, and anywhere else you want to see us, that will make sure that you can find us.
Yeah. All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Thanks again. See you tomorrow.